The Young and the Restless spoilers The Shattered Illusion, a story of love, secrets, and uncertain bonds after a night that seemed to promise eternal love, when the tender, heartfelt kiss between Chelsea and Adam lit up their shared world with the glow of hope and passion. Both believed they had finally found the sanctuary of true love and happiness. The kiss, soft yet intense, was meant to seal a commitment to each other and, symbolically, to the future they dreamed of building together. However, behind the sweetness of that moment lay a dark and unsettling secret, one that would soon unravel their lives and shatter the delicate illusions they had so carefully constructed. A moment of tenderness and a looming secret. It all began on what appeared to be an ordinary evening. In the quiet intimacy of their shared apartment, as rain gently tapped on the windows and city lights painted a mosaic of reflections on the walls, Chelsea and Adam embraced in a moment of tender vulnerability. Their kiss was filled with promises of unwavering support, of love that would endure the tests of time, and of a shared commitment to the future, especially when it came to their son, Connor. Yet beneath this veneer of romantic perfection, a mystery had been festering, a question that haunted every silent second of their togetherness. Was Adam truly Connor's biological father? The very thought of it had always hovered in the back of their minds, a delicate, unspoken worry. For Adam, a man known for living primarily for himself, the idea of parenthood had never been fully embraced until he became entwined with Chelsea's world. If fate had determined that Connor was not his flesh and blood, then Adam's inherent selfishness might have driven him to walk away without a backward glance, a possibility that chilled Chelsea to her core. The unthinkable revelation. The tension reached its breaking point when circumstances forced Chelsea into an impossible corner. No longer could the truth be hidden away in whispers and half-truths. The weight of her secret had grown too heavy to bear. With a trembling voice, she finally decided that the time had come to reveal the truth to Connor. She believed that shielding him from the reality of his own origins would do him a disservice, especially as he had started asking questions about his identity, about why his resemblance to Adam was so ambiguous. During a quiet afternoon that contrasted sharply with the storm raging within their family, Chelsea sat down with Connor and, with tears in her eyes, confessed that the man he thought of as his father might not be his biological parent at all. The admission hit Connor like a thunderbolt. His reaction was immediate and fierce. Anger welled up within him as he struggled to reconcile the image of Adam as a steadfast protector with the unsettling possibility that his very existence might have been built on a lie. The revelation ignited a burning resentment toward Chelsea, whose decisions now seemed not only misguided but a betrayal of the trust he once held dear. Connor's anger and the quest for identity. For Connor, the revelation was more than a mere piece of unsettling news. It was a catalyst for a deep internal conflict about his identity. In the weeks following the confession, his behavior grew increasingly erratic. Anger and hurt intertwined as he began to direct his fury toward his mother, unable to fathom why she would keep such a crucial secret from him for so long. Each confrontation, each tearful outburst, was a plea for clarity and a desperate bid to reclaim a sense of self in a life that had suddenly become so confusing. In his eyes, the man he had once admired, the man who had shared moments of tenderness and had promised to be a guiding light in his life, now seemed like an imposter. The emotional betrayal was profound, and Connor's feelings of abandonment and isolation deepened with every passing day. Questions about his identity, his worth, and the very foundation of his family began to spiral out of control, leaving him adrift in a sea of emotional turmoil. Adam's dilemma and unexpected compassion. Amidst this personal upheaval, Adam found himself at a crossroads. Known for his self-serving nature and a reputation that spoke of ambition and cold pragmatism, Adam had always prided himself on looking out for number one. Yet, when confronted with the reality of Connor's deteriorating health, a condition that had cast a long, ominous shadow over the boy's future, Adam was forced to confront a side of himself that he had long neglected. Despite the swirling questions about his paternity, Adam acted with a surprising sense of dignity and responsibility. Recognizing that Connor's illness demanded care, attention, and unconditional support, he made a public declaration. Whether he was the biological father or not was irrelevant to him. In a moment of rare vulnerability, Adam promised that he would stand by Connor's side, love him, and provide for him for as long as he lived. His words, measured and sincere, were not just a reassurance to a frightened child but a subtle plea to bridge the growing chasm between him and Connor. For a brief moment, Connor felt a sense of calm wash over him. The warmth in Adam's voice, the steady resolve in his eyes, offered a glimmer of hope that perhaps, despite everything, there was still a chance for him to feel loved and protected. Yet, the lingering question of his true parentage loomed large, and the path to healing was far from clear. The end of a romance and the dawn of a new reality. As the tumultuous revelations unfolded, the once passionate romance between Adam and Chelsea began to crumble under the weight of their shared secret. The spark that had once ignited their relationship was now extinguished by mistrust, betrayal, and the irreversible consequences of their choices. The intimacy they had once cherished was replaced by cold silence and the bitter realization that the foundation of their relationship was built on uncertainty and half-truths. Chelsea, racked with guilt over the pain her secret had caused Connor, found herself torn between the love she once felt for Adam and the duty she owed to her son. Her decision to confess had been driven by a desire to free Connor from the burden of secrecy, yet it had inadvertently opened old wounds that might never fully heal. In the wake of the revelation, Chelsea and Adam parted ways, each left to navigate the complexities of their own emotions and the fallout from decisions that had forever altered the course of their lives. The lingering mystery: who is Connor's real father? At the heart of this emotional maelstrom remains an unanswered question that continues to haunt every character involved: who is Connor's biological father? The mystery is not just a plot point, it is the fulcrum upon which the entire narrative pivots. For Connor, the answer holds the key to his identity, his understanding of where he fits in the world, and the resolution of the anger that now consumes him. For Chelsea, the truth is a double-edged sword that has already inflicted irrevocable damage to her relationship with her son, while for Adam, it is a challenge to the carefully constructed persona he has long maintained. Speculation runs rampant in the corridors of their intertwined lives. Some whisper that a long-forgotten romance from Chelsea's past might hold the answer, while others suggest that a twist of fate involving a secret admirer or a clandestine relationship could be the missing piece of the puzzle. The uncertainty not only fuels Connor's inner turmoil but also casts a long shadow over every decision made by those seeking clarity amidst the chaos. A journey toward redemption and self-discovery. In the midst of the emotional wreckage, there remains a glimmer of hope. A possibility for redemption and healing. Adam's unexpected display of compassion and his firm commitment to Connor's well-being, regardless of biological ties, serves as a beacon of light in an otherwise dark narrative. It is a reminder that true love, in its most selfless form, transcends the boundaries of biology and circumstance. For Connor, the path forward is one of self-discovery and acceptance. As he slowly begins to understand that family is defined not solely by genetic connections but by the bonds forged through care, responsibility, and shared experiences, he finds himself at a crossroads. His journey is not just about uncovering the truth of his origins, but about reconciling the duality of love and betrayal, anger and acceptance. The road is long and fraught with challenges, yet with each step, he moves closer to understanding that his worth is not determined by the circumstances of his birth, but by the resilience of his spirit and the capacity of those around him to love him unconditionally. Chelsea, too, embarks on her own journey, a quest for forgiveness, both from herself and from the son she loves so dearly. The pain of losing the trust of the one person who mattered most forces her to confront the consequences of her actions and to seek ways to mend the broken pieces of their familial bond. It is a path marked by sorrow and regret, yet also by the hope that, through honest communication and heartfelt remorse, some semblance of harmony might eventually be restored. Epilogue, a new chapter in an ongoing saga. As the dust begins to settle on the remnants of a romance that once promised everything, all those involved are left to grapple with the aftermath of a truth too heavy to ignore. Adam, Chelsea, and Connor stand at the precipice of a new chapter, one where the scars of the past serve as both a reminder of what has been lost and a catalyst for what may yet be redeemed. The unresolved mystery of Connor's biological father continues to hover like a ghost over their lives, a silent reminder that the truth, no matter how painful, is a necessary part of the journey toward healing. Adam's pledge to care for Connor, Chelsea's desperate attempts to rebuild trust, and Connor's inner battle with identity and anger all converge in a narrative that is as complex as it is compelling. In the end, their story is not just about the unraveling of secrets and the end of a romance, it is about the enduring human spirit's capacity to forgive, to love unconditionally, and to find meaning even in the darkest of revelations. The question of who Connor's real father is may remain unanswered for now, but the journey they all undertake in search of truth and redemption is a testament to the resilience of the heart and the transformative power of love, even in its most flawed and complicated forms. In the tangled labyrinth of family secrets and shattered dreams, Chelsea finds herself at the eye of a storm that threatens to uproot everything she has ever known. Even though she remains unaware of who truly fathered Connor, the decision to confess a truth that only deepens the mystery has left her reeling with guilt and anguish. One might wonder, why would she reveal such a secret when silence could offer a temporary shield from the relentless pain of uncertainty? Yet, for Chelsea, the confession was not an act of self-punishment, it was an attempt to liberate herself and Connor from the crushing weight of deception. But this decision has unleashed a torrent of consequences that none of them could have foreseen. The choice to confess, a double-edged sword. Chelsea's revelation did not stem from a desire for retribution or a moment of impulsive confession. Instead, it was born from the desperate need to lift the veil of secrecy that had shadowed Connor's life for far too long. In her heart, Chelsea believed that the truth, no matter how painful, was a necessary step toward healing. She hoped that by exposing the uncertainty, she could finally start rebuilding a foundation of trust between her and her son. However, this revelation has also exposed the raw nerves of betrayal and abandonment that Connor harbored. The unspoken promise of a perfect family, sealed by that fateful kiss, has been brutally shattered, leaving behind a legacy of mistrust and emotional scars. The hollow promise of a kiss. It all began with a kiss, a symbol of hope, a fleeting moment when Chelsea and Adam imagined that the sins of the past could be forgiven. In that tender moment, it seemed as if all the pain, the regrets, and the secrets would dissolve into the background, replaced by the sweet promise of a new beginning. But the reality was far from that idyllic vision. Adam's inherent selfishness, which had always lurked beneath his charismatic exterior, soon reared its head, proving that his commitment to personal gratification outweighed any genuine attempt at redemption. The kiss, rather than sealing a pact of love and trust, became the ironic starting point of a relentless cascade of betrayal. The cruel irony of truth. What makes Chelsea's situation so gut-wrenching is not just the uncertainty surrounding Connor's paternity, but the manner in which the truth has been weaponized against her and her son. Chelsea's confession was meant to clear the air, to finally unburden Connor from the silent torment of hidden truths. Yet, it has had the opposite effect, fueling Connor's inner rage and resentment. In a cruel twist of fate, the very act intended to protect him has ignited a fierce rebellion within him. The boy, already grappling with his sense of identity and self-worth, now feels betrayed by the woman he once trusted implicitly. His anger is not solely directed at the ambiguity of his origins, but also at Chelsea for breaking the unspoken promise of an uncomplicated, albeit flawed, family life. Adam's selfish nature and its ramifications. At the heart of this spiraling drama lies Adam, a man whose actions have consistently been defined by self-interest. Despite the outward appearance of caring for Connor, Adam's true nature reveals a man who was never truly prepared to sacrifice his desires for the sake of someone else's well-being. His willingness to use affection and charm as tools to manipulate the situation has left a trail of broken promises and wounded hearts in its wake. For Chelsea, the disillusionment is unbearable. She had once believed that a passionate kiss could serve as the beginning of absolution, a way to overcome past misdeeds and move forward as a family. Instead, Adam's actions have underscored a brutal reality. His selfishness is a barrier that will never allow him to embrace the role of a devoted father fully. Nick, the unchosen protector amidst the chaos, another figure looms large. Nick, whose yearning to be a father to Connor has always burned like a steady flame. Nick's desire to fill the void left by Adam's erratic behavior was a silent promise, a dream of unconditional love and responsibility. Yet, in the tangled web of choices, Chelsea never turned to him for support. Perhaps it was the lingering hope that Adam could change, or the fear that accepting Nick's offer would mean conceding defeat in the battle for her son's heart. Now, in the wake of these revelations, Nick is left standing at the crossroads of heartbreak and hope. The question remains, will Nick's unwavering desire to be a father prevail, or will the bitter taste of betrayal and the scars of the past dampen his fervor? A future shrouded in uncertainty for Chelsea, the journey ahead is fraught with pain and difficult choices. The act of confession, intended as a step toward transparency and healing, has instead unveiled a Pandora's box of consequences that ripple through every facet of her life. She is now caught between the painful realization that silence might have been the easier path, and the relentless pursuit of truth that has left her son hurt and confused. The repercussions of this decision are profound, leaving a trail of broken trust, shattered dreams, and an uncertain future where the true identity of Connor's biological father hangs over them like a dark cloud. Every day, Chelsea grapples with the haunting question, what if she had chosen silence over truth? Could the family have survived in a fragile state of denial, clinging to the remnants of a love that once seemed so promising? Or was the confession inevitable, a necessary evil that, despite its pain, might eventually lead to a more honest and genuine reconciliation of their fractured bonds? Revisiting the unfulfilled promises in the midst of this internal turmoil, memories of that long-ago kiss haunt Chelsea. It is a bittersweet reminder of a time when she dared to believe in redemption, when she hoped that love could erase the sins of the past. Instead, that kiss now symbolizes a tragic irony, a moment when hope was extinguished by the harsh reality of Adam's self-serving nature. The betrayal is not just personal, it is emblematic of a broader failure to uphold the values of trust, commitment, and sacrifice that form the cornerstone of any family. Adam's inability to rise above his own selfish desires has left an indelible mark on all who were touched by his charm. His actions have not only severed the fragile ties that bound him to Chelsea and Connor but have also exposed the painful truth that sometimes, the people we rely on the most are the very ones who are incapable of providing the support we so desperately need. The path toward redemption and renewal yet, amid the heartbreak and betrayal, there remains a glimmer of hope. For Nick, the potential to step in as the nurturing figure that Connor so desperately needs still exists. His quiet, steadfast love could become the anchor that helps Connor navigate the turbulent seas of his emotions and uncertainties. If Nick chooses to embrace this challenge, he may be able to offer Connor the stability and unconditional love that have been so conspicuously absent from his life. The path to redemption for Chelsea is equally arduous. She must come to terms with the consequences of her choices and strive to rebuild the shattered trust with her son. This journey will require immense courage, self-reflection, and the willingness to confront painful truths about her past. Only by acknowledging the mistakes that led to this point can she hope to forge a new beginning, a future where transparency and genuine care replace the lingering shadows of deceit and selfish ambition. Conclusion: the lingering shadows of the past in this unfolding saga of love, betrayal, and self-discovery, every character stands at a precipice. Chelsea, burdened by guilt and sorrow, must navigate the treacherous path toward redemption without losing herself in the process. Adam's callous indifference and unyielding selfishness continue to cast a long shadow over the lives he touched, while Nick's potential emergence as the caring father figure remains a beacon of hope amid the encroaching darkness. The bitter irony of Chelsea's confession, an act that was meant to free them from the chains of silence, serves as a stark reminder that truth, while liberating, can also be a double-edged sword. It has the power to reveal hidden wounds, provoke deep-seated anger, and shatter the fragile constructs of trust and love. The unresolved question of Connor's true parentage lingers ominously, threatening to unravel any semblance of stability they might have once hoped to achieve. As the dust settles on the remnants of broken promises and lost dreams, one thing remains clear: the journey toward healing is long and uncertain. The scars of betrayal may never fully fade, but in the quiet moments of introspection, there exists the possibility for forgiveness, renewal, and a reimagining of what family can truly mean. Only time will tell if Nick's earnest desire to become the father Connor needs will triumph over the lingering bitterness of the past, or if Chelsea's attempts at truth and reconciliation will ultimately pave the way for a future defined not by secrets.